my marriage story. My husband and I will be celebrating 10 years of marriage this May. Yes, 10 years, y'all. It does not seem like it. It's like time went by so quick, but this is such a huge milestone for us, and I have never just came out and just really shared my story with anybody, but it's time now. I feel like now is the perfect time for me to come out and share our story. So I kind of wanted him to be here with me to do this video, but I have something else planned for us to do together. So if you have any questions for us, you're welcome to leave those questions down in the comment section, and we will be doing a Q&A sit down video, and we will be answering any questions in that Q&A video. That will be the week of our anniversary that video will be filmed and put up for you. So make sure you subscribe and hit your notification bell so you don't miss when I upload another video. Okay, so just to give you all a backstory, my husband and I were married young. I was 19 and he was 24 when we did get married. We met when I was 17, turning 18, and he was 23. We dated for about a year, and he proposed to me about a year later after we initially started dating. I was in high school. I was in my last year of high school when I met my husband. Of course, he was a little bit older than me. We're 6 years apart, so he was not in high school. When we did meet, I was dating somebody at my high school, and that relationship ended, and I was friends with my husband at that time, and yeah, we just started dating. The time was right. We just started dating. We really cared a lot about each other, and when he proposed, it was such a special moment for me, but I was so nervous. I knew I wanted to say yes. I didn't have doubts at the time, but in the back of my head there were kind of some doubts and some fears about it, because I was still very young. I was in college at the time. He was in college at the time, and that he proposed, and it was just a whole lot of emotions going on. Did we live together before marriage? We actually did live together. We were spending so much time together that it really just made sense for us to live together, and it was a short period of time. We lived together for about 6 months before we got married. Just a couple of months, not a long time. The decision to actually get married as soon as we did, because at that time we were engaged, but the actual decision to get married as quick as we did was on me, and that's so surprising. I know it's going to be really surprising, because we actually were in the process of trying to plan a wedding, but like I said, I was still in school and I was working, and the way we ended up getting married was I kind of just woke up one day. Well, actually it was at night. Yes, I remember the exact moment. It was at night, and I remember him telling me he was going to be off work for like the next 2 days, and I had the next 2 days off. Here's another thing. We actually worked together. We were actually working at the same place at the time. So we was working in a restaurant together, and I was kind of like, hey, why don't we just go and get married? Like, just go to the courthouse. And he was like, well, what about a wedding? And I was just kind of like, we don't have to have a wedding. I was like, I love you and I want to be with you, and I said, I don't have to have that right now. I just want to be your wife. Like, if we're gonna do this, let's do it for real. Like, and he was shocked, and I could tell he was kind of hesitant, not to marry me because we were already engaged, but to just basically elope because we eloped and we got married. We didn't tell anybody that we were going to do that. We got up the next morning. We had an overnight bag. We drove one state over. I'm in Mississippi, so we drove over to Alabama, and we got married. And y'all, it was the most perfect thing. I know you may be like, girl, y'all just got married at the courthouse, but let me tell you, it was such a magical and special moment for us. Like I said, I was a ball of nerves, but I was so excited. And once we finally did get married, it was just like a weight was just lifted off of my shoulders. I just felt like I made the best decision for me. So of course, anytime you get married, you take a chance because you know you love that person, you know you want to be with that person, but you never know what you're really getting into. So you always kind of have that. So that's whether you just go to the courthouse and get married, or if you plan a big extravagant wedding, whatever, you're always going to have some type of nerves. Okay, so after we were married, we just, I don't know, we were just in this blissful moment. We stood outside of the courthouse and we just held hands and we just talked, and there were 2 lovebirds, y'all, that were right outside of the courthouse as we walked out, and it was just the most priceless moment. It was just like God himself had sent a sign that yes, like, I'm proud of you all. And yeah, so of course that was only the start of our journey. We found out we was actually pregnant a month later. We got married in July of 2011, and I found out that I was 8 weeks pregnant with my first daughter August of 2011. So not very far off from that. Things, like I said, things progressed really quickly. I was actually, the way I found out we were having a baby, I was actually going to a OBGYN to talk to them about birth control. And at the appointment to get birth control, she walks in and tells me, hey, I can't really give you the birth control. And I'm kind of looking at her like, why not? And she tells me, because you're already pregnant. So very shortly after we got married, we found out we was having a baby. So my experience so far has been a really great experience. Of course, there has been a lot of ups and downs in our marriage. That's to be expected. We're still in this season where I feel like I'm changing, he's changing a little bit, we're having to adjust a little bit. We now have 3 children. We did buy a house. We've had a lot of really great accomplishments and things that we have accomplished in this 10 years of marriage. Just to say, we're homeowners. You know, I'm a homeowner before I'm 30. I'm currently 28 years old. I'll be 29 in April, and that's a huge accomplishment for me. To have 3 beautiful daughters is the biggest accomplishment out of this marriage. Yes, and just a lot of other things. And every day I'm still learning. I'm still you're trying to figure all of this out, and just managing being a mother, managing being a wife, trying to get my life together. And yes, it's a tough job, but I have found a lot of joy in all of this and in my life as a wife. My advice to the younger ladies who are thinking about getting married, or if you're engaged, or if you're just dating but one day you know you want to be married, my advice to you is to you know, don't rush into it. Of course, you're gonna hear that a lot. I heard that as well. At the beginning, we really did not have a lot of support. I felt like his mom was a lot more supportive than mine was. I think my mom was more of wanting me to finish school and, you know, to do all of that. And you know, I wasn't raised around a lot of married couples. My mom and dad were divorced, and I lived with my mom and my grandmother, who wasn't married either. So for me, like I said, I had a lot to learn, and I'm still learning. 10 years into my marriage, I'm still learning new things. I'm learning what works, what don't work, how to handle this, how to handle that. And you never want to stop learning. You always want to learn. You always want to grow, and just learn each other. You want to learn your partner, your spouse. As they get older, they're going to change. The person that I was 10 years ago, I'm no longer that person. And that's what I try to tell my husband. Sometimes he brings up this, brings up that, and I'm like, that was 10 years ago. Like, I also was a size 2 when you married me, and now I'm not. So yes, things change, and you have to be flexible, and you have to be willing to learn and to grow. And marriage is such a beautiful journey. It's such a, I call it a ministry. Just like you have ministries in the church and you have to work those ministries, you have to work a marriage. Every single day is work. Every single day is something to do. It's something to learn. But it's such a beautiful thing if you do it right and you take it serious. So my biggest advice is that to all of you younger ladies, or if you're my age or older or whatever, and you're new to marriage, you're just not getting married, or whatever the case is, I really wish you all the best of luck, a lot of love, and a lot of happiness in your lives. If you have any questions for me, please leave them down below. This year for our 10-year anniversary, I don't know what the plans are. I know he's talking about upgrading my ring. I love my ring. He did such a great job picking it out. So I don't know what the plans are to celebrate it, but I know we have to go big. We have to. This is 10 years. And another thing, for my future plans, I'm just going to continue to grow and learn and just try to be the best wife that I can be. I want to just make my husband happy and be just the best wife that I can be to him, and help him in any way that I can, because he helps me so much, and he's super supportive of everything that I do. He's really like my rock, and I know I'm the same to him, and we're a team in everything. I don't believe in 50-50. I know that's the thing nowadays. I see it all over social media. Couples talking about 50-50. I don't believe in 50-50. I believe in 100-100, and that means I'm putting my best foot forward 100% of the time, and I'm also expecting you to put your best foot forward 100% of the time. I don't believe in splitting everything down the middle, because I just believe that that just opens the door for just burnout and somebody not feeling fulfilled on one end or the other, because you're going to be putting in your 50 and that person may not. You may go over 50 and be putting in 80, and that person may only be putting 20 in, and it's just going to aggravate you and make you not feel fulfilled in your marriage. And you don't want that. You want to always be fulfilled. You want to always communicate. You want your marriage to be built off of trust. My husband is my best friend. We were like that before we got married. We just instantly just clicked. I felt comfortable enough to talk to him about anything. He would talk to me about things, and we still have that friendship now. We joke and we laugh like we're still teenagers, and we still date each other. Date nights are so important to me. He just called me an hour ago and asked me did I want to go on a date next weekend. So he knows that date night is important to me, for us to just have that time to just reconnect outside of the children, outside of our home, outside of work life, and to just go back to just being girlfriend and boyfriend, just hanging out, chilling, laughing, and talking is so important. You have to keep that the center of your marriage, and you have to keep God the center of your marriage. My faith is really what's helping me through a lot of hard days that I've had in my marriage. I've been through a lot of seasons of just been through a lot in 10 years. Like, as I'm thinking of it, it's just like I know it was nobody but God that brought us through a lot of the situations that we got ourselves into. And now it's my faith that I feel like just helps me every single day to not give up and not give up on my marriage. Because just being real, when you go through things, it's easy to say, I don't want to do this anymore, it's too much, and to just give up. But when you have faith in God and you know that God has blessed your union and your marriage, and you have God's favor on your life, and you have a ministry to fulfill to help somebody else, then it really makes going through those things that you go through worth it. So that's all I have for this video. I hope something in this video that I said was helpful to you in some way, shape, or form. I thank you for watching, and I thank you for subscribing. If you have not subscribed, I would ask that you would go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next video. Be safe out there and be blessed. Bye.